Hi, welcome back to part 3 of the mandala painting meditation practice. We've done the first part where we just put affirmations, various colours, just played about a little bit, getting used to the canvas, getting used to the paints and the brushes. In part 2, we set down the foundation outlines for the mandala and started to give it a little bit colour. And in part 3, I'm going to show you some various ideas on how to fill those shapes in. Now, all I have here on my tray is the 3 primary colours, some white and some black. And for each of the colours on here, on the mandala so far, we've got red, yellow, pink, blue in the background and green. So I'm going to concentrate on this quarter here just to let you see how we can turn a quarter at a time into something that looks pretty. I'm going to start in the middle with the red. I'm just going to take some red and a little bit of white and just add some colour to the outlines. And to make it pretty, we don't want it to look too uniform, but we do need to get lots of colours into these shapes just to make them look nice. Now I'll have some of that red. Right, I didn't mix that up well enough. I've still got white on my brush. Again, I'm going over the black lines, and we can put all these lines in again later when we've finished. Now I've got some red and white, so I think I'll have a little bit of orange in there. Just mix the orange up on my palette. And let's around this outline. Have it going around there. And further up here where the pinks are, we could also start putting some colours into that shape. So I've added some orange and some pinky white. Just to get it going again. Now I think in the middle of this one we could have some nice yellowy orange, and then this side more yellow. Just to create some variation, and a little bit yellow there. And I'll clean my brush up here into this one. So we've got various little bits of colour. I'll put a little bit more white in there, and we could add a little bit of purple. Well, I like to mix with my fingers. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but I like to do that. Right, I'm just going to clean my brush into this pink. Right, so you can see that it's starting to take some shape. Now this yellow part, I think I'll have a really nice light green in there. And I said last time, it doesn't matter if you mix a colour and you don't have enough to finish what you were going to paint. Just mix something similar, and it doesn't matter if it's not exactly the same, it'll just add to more contrast. And I'll put a little bit of green in here. And we have some green leaves there, so we need to have a variety of greens in this leaf. So in these leaves, so I'll put some greens in these leaves too. So in this yellow space, I think if we have a little bit of orange in the yellow, and that'll blend in with these oranges, but we don't want to overpower, we don't want it to be too orangey. And we can have some pink. It's just a matter of playing about with your colours, going over and over them until you get some colours that you like the look of. I think we need a bit more purple in here. Now this is drying somewhat, so we can add in some brighter yellows. I'm just echoing the shapes of the leaves here. Echoing the shapes of that, just so we have a little bit of contrast. Now here I can either leave that to dry, or I can blend the colours in with my fingers. See how that works. Right, I think I liked it before. I've covered over the colours now. So I'll have a little bit more red. Some whites. And a little bit of purple. And I think I'll outline these sides so we can see what we're doing. And blue. Right, that's starting to look pretty again. And let's go back to this. Now I'm going to clean my brush. Try to get it dry again. Just in this background because we'll be filling them in. Now I covered that in red and then I put blue on the top and then tried to mix it in. That didn't work very well. I think what I'll do now is make up some more orange. Just add an outline of orange. Now, orange and blue are contrasting colours, so that should work well. And some yellow. I'll try some blue on top of the yellow. Just to see how that blends in. little bits of the bluey yellow to the leaves. Bits of white to brighten them up. Right, now that's starting to blur together, so I'm just going to put in a white outline just so we can see where that is. And the white makes it pop out of the page. Right, I've gone a bit too far into the shape, but we can paint over that. Now to get the idea, you just keep adding colours into your various shapes until you get a blend of colours that you like. I'm still not liking this, I'm going to leave this to dry, but I like the way these leaves are coming out. I think I'll add just little touches of yellow to the leaves just to brighten them up. And the tips of leaves, they could be going brown. As you'll be able to see in the centre here and along the edges, I've started some of the painting, and hopefully I'll be able to show you close up how to proceed. Now if you look at this leaf shape here, it already has various greens. You can see the oranges and you can see the pattern underneath from the other two layers. Now we kind of want to keep those but also give it extra colour. So I'm going to start off adding some yellow. Mix it down a bit with my fingers. This is easy to do when it's dry. It tends to make a little bit of a mess when there's wet paint underneath. Now I've put a yellow on. That was a bright yellow. Now I'd like to put a creamy yellow, so I'll add some white. Now I don't know if you can see this here. Sometimes I don't completely mix the colour in. That's so I can get like a variegated effect onto the canvas. There we have white and yellow together. And then this side I've done half of this leaf, but I'm going to do them totally different just for the sake of this video, just so you can see some contrast. And I'll add some yellows into the OG shape. Now remember, if you put a colour on the canvas and you don't care much for it, let it dry, paint it over. Now in these petal shapes, you can see here I have lots of different colours. Now in each shape we need to try and get as many colours as possible. So I'll start here with a little bit pink. And just, right, that's a half a one done from the last session that I did on my own. So let's do a half. And I tend not to make them symmetrical. You may be a symmetrical person, I'm not. So I like to have the colours different each time. So in this one I did it's more of a salmony pink because it had some yellow and white still on my brush. On the left hand side, on the right hand side, and then up at the top. Then I could add a bit more red, make it a bit brighter, and just add little lines of paint. So that's that one finished. Now I'm going to take a little bit of that salmony pinky colour and purple it up a little bit by adding some blue. Again, just put some blues in. Right, I'm going to have to clean my brush this time. And in your painting practice, it's always good to recycle old towels. And you can use them for a little bit longer. So I've got a purpley blue. I can add a blue with nothing else added in it. Now I would like a nice green, so I'm going to take some of that white and yellow mix and a little bit blue, and that makes a nice green. Some green there. So basically you just keep adding colours until you get something that you think looks really nice. I'm going to change my brush just so I don't have to wash it. And we can add little bits of white just to give it a little sparkle. Now when these dry, I'll come back and put some more colours in. Right, the Uji shapes, you can see this one here at the back. I've followed the lines of the petal shapes with various colours. Just mix them in. Just put them down wherever you feel. Remember, this is a meditation, so just go wherever your mind takes you. And while you're doing this, you can be cleaning colours off your brush into these triangular shapes. So we've got some red. Let's get some of this lovely creamy yellow. It's not showing up too well because I've painted on top of yellow. Have some of that nice creamy blue. That's getting a bit dry, so I'll need to add some white just so we can stretch it out a little bit further. And make a little bit of purple. Now that's quite a strong purple, so I'm going to put a little bit into the leaf shapes, not too much. And then I'm going to mix some white in to make it more of a lilac-y purple. Add some to here to get my brush cleaned. That's what I need to be a clean brush. Right, and just because we probably have in our heads the idea that leaves are green, we can add other colours to our leaves. I'm trying my best not to hide this lovely pattern underneath these lovely colours. So we've got some purple added, add some pink. I'm going to add some bright red as well, because this time of year I'm painting in autumn, so leaves would be starting to dry up and go red. Don't get anything about this side. So far in the Uji shapes we've got the yellow background, got a bit of red, a bit of purple, some green. I'm going to mix some orange up. Just add nice bits of orange. That's not orange enough. It's not enough of an orange to contrast the red. So just add some more yellow in. As you can see, I keep going over the black lines, but that's fine because we can draw them in again. And I'll get rid of colour on my brush in this shape and on this shape. I'm going to start adding some white to the Uji shapes. And this will just make them pop a little bit, just make them stand out. And when I started painting these triangular shapes, I wasn't able to distinguish between the Ujis and the triangles, so I outlined them in white so I could see what I was doing. They may stay white or they may go back to black. You can see there's a little bit of black still. The black and white contrast each other. Right, this Uji shape, I'm just going to leave these ones until they're drier, and then we can decide what we're going to do. So this Uji shape needs some colour. When I did these ones at the top here, didn't really like the outcome, so I'm going to follow the shape. Sorry, these aren't Ujis, these are triangles. So I'm going to follow the shape, various colours. Right, I've put blue on and then I've spread it with my finger, so I can add a little bit of yellow and drag the yellow away from the blue. And you see it's turning to green. I can do these colours here, see what we'll get. Right, and then I think I need to have some brighter yellow in there. And I think I like the way that this is turning out more than the way that reminds me of a volcano erupting. This is just lots of triangles. You could have them all within your mandala. You don't have to have every single part the same. Let's put some colour into these leaves. I think those leaves need a little bit of white. This needs some white. And the petal shapes, I'll put tiny bits of white in them also. And I'm just going to get some black and outline them. That's still too wet to outline, so I'll go from this side. I think that black's starting to dry up. If you notice in the centre, I made a white circle and just put some little bits of colour in, just so it wasn't just a boring old white circle. Now, even though I said I'm not bothered about symmetry, just realise that up here on the edges of the half mandalas that I did earlier, there is a bluey green. So I think just to give it some balance, I'm going to create this light bluey green and just add some in to the edges of these OGs. Right, so I need a little bit, just really lightly. It doesn't have to even have to be all the way. You can just do some broken lines and then it'll look like bits of it have been painted over. Right, I like that. Let's put some of this colour into the leaves. I'm just putting some white on here as well. Just these colours are echoing the points of the OGs within the triangles. As I say, I think I like that a lot better than I like this side. So when I finish this section, I'm going to go back over that and put these in. See what other colours. I need a little bit of purple in. I think even though these are still looking sort of like lava coming up a mountain, I think following the same shape gives it more coherence. I'm just going to make some more greens just to do the leaves. Just clean my brush. Right, I don't really think there's much more I can explain to you how to do. I think you really need to just get in on it and practice yourself. I would really love to see what you come up with. So if you would like to email me your finished product to paintersprogress@gmail.com, that would be lovely, because I'd like to see what you have done. And I'll keep on with this and then I'll show you the finished product at the end.